I decided that I would stay with the process of updating and just touch base today. I wanted to share a little bit about what happened here yesterday morning, and I'm going to back up a little bit to say that in the 48 hours before she died, she was unresponsive. She had moved into a mode of, truly I felt like she had gone and her body was just catching up. So just to say, there was about 48 hours without contact of verbal or visual acknowledgement, but she was not in pain. Not. She was able to stay home, and she actually had a strong, rhythmic, regular breath until the last. So what I've experienced in the past with people and the apnea and some of those things that happen in those final days and moments did not occur. So I just felt that when I went to bed, and I went to bed because I had been up for 36 hours because she hadn't been responsive, and I just was so exhausted. And so when I went to bed after calling a friend in the middle of the night to come and sit with her so that I could close my eyes because my head was pounding and I couldn't do it. So I slept hard and crazy, apparently, for about 5 hours. And I woke up at 6 o'clock, which I always do because that's when my body naturally wakes up, and that's also when the coffee pot goes off. I have a timed coffee pot, so I opened my eyes and I heard the sound of the coffee, and I got up and I walked into the living room and I smiled at Margine. She was awake, my pal that came, and I looked at Jin, and she didn't appear to be breathing. And I looked at Margine and she's like, "What?" And I said, "She's not breathing." And she's like, "Yes, she's breathing." And we realized no, there was no movement. And so I dove across the tables and the things in my way, and I had been wanting to be in that bed with her, for days, and I couldn't because she hurt so much, so that she just couldn't stand any pressure on her body. She couldn't stand being touched. Her skin was so sensitive, so I couldn't get in there to hold her anymore because it was hurtful. So I crawled in that bed and I threw my head on her chest, and the exhale from the last inhale brushed past my cheek and my ear. So I was there. And it was coffee time. I feel like she waited for me for coffee. So there was no distress. It was as peaceful as it could be. So there's the beauty in that. So we called Pastor Sherry, and the three of us had coffee with Jin. The other thing I'll tell you is that since 1992, Jin has been registered as a body donation to Mayo's Medical School. So when I was ready to start the process of having her moved and called hospice, then they started the work because they had to call, because it's just because she's applied doesn't mean that they can take her necessarily. Anyway, so she was accepted in the program, um, which is something she's wanted very much to do. The thing about my wife is that she's a teacher, and she'll continue to teach. That process will take a year to a year and a half, and then they'll send her ashes back to me when they're done. But there were moments that were in the process of, you know, because then Mayo sent someone to come and get her, and she had clutched that cross, you know, to the very end. She had that in her hand for days. It was very difficult to remove her jewelry and her rings. But I think the hardest piece was those final kisses, and then having her go. Letting her go. I am so grateful that it happened the way she wanted it to happen. So, now what, right? Because here we are. Detail-wise, Friday night, Austin Art Center at the upstairs, the Art Center. We're going to be there from 7 to 10. We're not doing a traditional visitation because there's no body, and to be honest, I don't have a desire to stand in a line. Just the idea of being in a receiving line at a funeral home is just so much. It couldn't be, I just have no room for that. I can't. Gotta do it differently. So we're going to have a Midwestern Danish style wake. We're going to meet at we'll just be there. Be there to storytell and reminisce and interact with friends. So from 7 to 10 on Friday night. And then Saturday, the service will be at 1 o'clock at our church. It's the Congregational Church in Austin. 1 o'clock on Saturday. Family's coming. My sister will come. My aunt is coming. Jin's brothers will come. And their families. It's really quiet here. It's been a very quiet day. My friend Jocelyn is here with me today. And others have and a couple of friends in the city's come down last night, and they were here until this morning and they left. But it's really been a low-key quiet day, and just working the details, you know. Anyway. Courage. Stamina and grace. For me. And for my pups. Oh, these dogs. They're just so sad. They're trying to figure it out. I am forever changed. And will be forever grateful. What's good? Did good. Okay. We'll see you soon.